Hey guys, Tarek with Cyclone FPV, and I've got some work to do right now. I'm falling way behind because our computer's crashed, my computer crashed, and it's a computer I've been using for 3 years to do all this work. So I'm down to this snail-paced piece of junk that I have in front of me. Unfortunately, it's all I got right now, so things are going a little slow. I just had to reload it so I can at least have something. My other computer, I guess I'm just gonna have to go buy a new one. In either case, though, I do have an RMA here that I'm about to work on, and let me go ahead and show you what I'm doing here. And I was doing the recent OpenTX tutorials because of this particular update or RMA. So here's the deal. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select a, let's see, a FrSky. I'm using the QX7 ACCST. I'm going to select this model right now, and here's what we've got. We've got a drone right here that has a version of, it's got XM Plus on it, and the version that it's got is running 2.1.x, right? The problem is the customer who ordered this does not have a radio that runs 2.1.x in his internal module. So the only two options he has is A, upgrade the module firmware, which is what you would normally want to do, except in his case, that means that every drone that he's got that is running the old firmware, pre 2.1, every receiver would have to be updated or else his radio wouldn't be able to communicate. The only other option is to downgrade the firmware that's on the XM Plus that's in here. That's what we're going to do. He sent it back to me to do that, so that's what we're going to do. So here's the process, and it sucks because this should not be taking so long, but, well, the unforeseen crash that happened has been a real big pain in the butt. Also, because I want to show you how this works, I am going to have to desolder the power on his VTX, or it will cut into our feed. So give me a second here. I'm going to just remove the cable. And you'll see the best way for me to try to do that. Let's see, I think that his cable is going to run here, here, here. That's for this. And so I think what we'll do is we're just going to take away, let's see, this one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this red cable that is right here. I'm just going to desolder that right there. Should take me no time. Just going to wait for the soldering iron to heat up real quickly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take his receiver and we're going to connect to it through the radio, and we're going to update it or downgrade it actually, and then we're going to see if it connects. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, get our soldering iron ready, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let me make sure I've got the right wires here. Okay, I'm going to take his red wire here and disconnect, desolder it. There we go. Now that should keep his VTX from coming on. So let's test that real quickly. Let me get the power here. It's got a long power cable. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our smoke stopper as well. And I'm going to try to extend it as much as I can so I can get it to reach here and not have to make too many adjustments. So let me just put this here. Let me put that here. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn it on. All right. Now I'm just going to plug this in. Okay. Just like this. This is a very tight fit onto this. There we go. Okay. And the VTX is off, so we should have no disruption. Now, what we can see, though, is that his receiver here, what we need to do is we need to get to his receiver and be able to update it, okay? So now that we know the VTX is good, I'm going to go ahead and power this off. And what we're going to do now is let's look at the radio real quick. So I'm going to hit menu. I don't think that this particular version, I hope they've added it back. Yeah, you see, they have not added this back, which is really bothering me because on the other radios, you have another option here for module firmware version, and they don't have that on here. So let me see if I don't think they added it anywhere else, though. That's the problem. I don't think if I go to hardware, I'll see it. Let me see. Nope. I wish they would. I wish they would change that, and I don't think it's in our settings. We are on mode 2. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's in our settings. All right. So in either case, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and head on over to our firmware. Because we know that this is upgraded to 2.1, and we know that this needs to be, we need to downgrade it, right? So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to head on over to the internet. So here we go. Let's go that. We're going to minimize our OpenTX real quickly, and we're going to go to FrSky's website, which hopefully I thought I was already there, but I guess not. I must have closed it. And this computer's so slow, there's no telling how long it's going to take to get there, but just have patience with me while we do this, please. Okay, in the meantime, I got to figure out how I want to desolder this. And I'm not really sure the best way to do that. So we've already clicked on the, and there it goes, finally. So let's see if we can get to the FrSky website with this slow computer. And I think what I'm going to have to do here is I'm just going to have to, I think I'm just going to take off the VTX. Okay, so let's go to FrSky's website. There we go. Takes forever on this computer. Okay, and then what we'll do is we will go to our products, and then we're going to go to receivers, and this is the ACCST receiver, so we're going to click this right here. Okay. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to download the old firmware, which I know I have, but I want to show you guys who may not have it. So look for XM Plus, which is this right here. That's the receiver we're using, so we're going to click that. Okay. And we're going to click downloads. So we go to their download page. Okay. And now here's the ACC ACCSD D16 firmware. Now you can see right here that there are these two options right here, but then there's also this option right here to download that is not compatible with 2.x, and that's what we want. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click that. Okay. It's going to automatically start a download. You'll see it pop up here. And because it's doing that, I'm also going to take these two files for future reference, okay? Just because I like to save as much as I can on the files here, which I may already have them, but I'm just going to keep them anyway. All right. And I should be seeing that's 1, 2. I should see the third file start here in just a second. Hopefully. I think I clicked on all 3 of them, but if not, I got this one. So let me click on this one. Let's see if we can get that one to start. Okay, so here are the 3 files. It's going to take just a few seconds to do this. Now what we're doing is it comes with this one right here. We're going to downgrade to this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to wait for that to get done. I'm going to click. I'm going to left click on the arrow. I'm going to click Show in Folder. Okay. And you guys know me when I organize the files here. So I have 3 zip files right here. So I'm going to take all those 3. I'm going to right click and left click on Cut. And I'm going to go to the copy drone files here. I'm going to go to the transmitters, and I'm going to go to the QX7. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll go to the SD card, or I'll go to zip files, I guess. So let's go to zip files. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paste, okay? And then I'm going to make a new folder so that I can keep this organized for future. I'm going to say XM Plus firmware, ACCST. Let me do ACCST firmware, okay? And in the future, then, if you keep this like this, you don't have to sit there every time and download it. So I need to take those 3 files right here, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to put those in this folder right there. And now we're going to go and I'm going to extract all of them. So let me click Extract All. Okay, I'll click Extract. I'm going to go to the next one, right click. Here, I'm going to left click. I'm going to go to Extract All. I'm not going to tell it to show this time because I don't want that folder popping up every time. And then I'm going to go to this one right here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. Extract all, and click Extract. Okay, now I've got the 3 folders here. I've got my 3 zip files. So I'm going to take these folders, and what I want to do is, see, they all have subfolders right here. So I'm going to click Cut, and I'm going to go back. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it here and paste, because I don't need a folder inside a folder. That's just a waste of time. Okay, so now it's right here, and there they are. And then I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to click Cut. And then when I go back and paste it, it's going to automatically make it the top folder. So paste. And then I'll do the same thing. So which one did I do that to? Okay. Let me go back there. Okay, there's that one. And then I'll go here. I'm going to right click on this folder, left click on Cut, go back, and click Paste. Okay. All right. Now, what happening here is we have these folders. Not sure, there's that one, okay. All right, so now I just want to take, this should be empty, I believe, yep. So we're going to delete the empty ones. We don't need these containers that are empty, so let's just delete those. So we have 1, 2, 3, all right. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a new folder again. This new folder is going to be called XM plus, I didn't know my capsules on, XM plus ACCST firmware, okay? Or I'll just do FW, okay? And I want to take these 3 files and drop them into there. And then I'm going to cut this folder and I'm going to go back to my SD card, firmware, the RX folder, and I'm going to paste this here. This way we keep it all organized. So now I know in this folder I have my XM Plus firmware, which is exactly what I want, right? All right, now my radio is still on though, so I'm going to go ahead and power my radio off. And I'm going to do just like we normally do. I'm going to go ahead and get it ready to plug in, holding the 2 sliders in. I'm going to take my USB cable, which is right here. That's not the right one, sorry, this one. And I'm going to plug it in. Okay, and we're going to go to our OpenTX. And I want to synchronize my SD card, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wait for the files to pop up real quick. They're not here yet, we're still waiting. Here they go. Okay, now I'm going to click the synchronize and it's got everything to go. I believe that is, so I'm going to click start. Here it goes, it's checking everything else. All the other files are the same. The only things we've done is add the firmware files for the receiver, okay? So we're just going to wait. And in the meantime, what I can do here, right? So you can see that synchronizing, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and get started to remove the VTX so I can access the receiver wires, and in doing so I can then perform a firmware update. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to very gently lift the VTX off. It's still synchronizing right now, the file, so we're going to let that go. So watch, I'm just going to lift this off, kind of move it aside, okay? And right here are the wires that I need. That's the S-bus wire, or the S-port, whatever it may be here. That's the wire I need to go ahead and do the job here. So I'm going to go ahead, it's a very, very small area. And if you want to see this, you can see now that our synchronizing is done. So we are good to go there. So let's just get back to work here. And we're going to close this and we're going to safely eject the radio. And as soon as I receive confirmation that I can remove it, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go to exit. All right, so the radio is done. And now I'm going to turn it off while I do this work here. Okay, so I'm going to now desolder. Move the radio out of the way. So I'm going to remove this cable right here. Okay, that is my S-port cable to my receiver. And then what I also have is I also have my 5 volt, which is the red cable right here. So I'm going to remove that one, get this out of the way. And then I have my ground. So let's just get all 3 of these out of the way. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there we go. We should be able to find these wires right here. Here they are, perfect. Okay, now we can put them back easily. Now, we're going to take our update cable, a FrSky update cable, any one of them. I think I have some that I may be able to use to solder with. Let me just see if I can find one that is ready to be soldered. Okay, not that one. This one perhaps, but I would try to find one that I don't have to cut the wire on, but I may not be that fortunate. So And that's a bummer. All right, so it looks like I'm gonna have to cut the wire on one of these, which is fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this one. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this, cut it. This is a better way than having to actually remove the receiver, take out the heat shrink that's already been there, and then, you know, desolder the wires, then put the heat shrink back on. I don't want to do that. That's too much work. It's way too much work for something that's already installed and functioning properly. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and tin these wires up, and I'll just solder the wires together, perform the update or the downgrade onto the radio and to the receiver, and then bind them and make sure that they work perfectly. Then put everything back together and we will be done. And that is just one of about 30 RMAs that I need to work on. So this is going to be one day of playing catch up for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and tin this up. There's one, there's two, there's three. Okay, I'm not worried about the excess solder right now. All I care about is to make sure that I have this done properly. All right, so we're going to take the 5-volt wire. Yeah, I'll go do it this way, I think. There we go, one. And this is just temporary, guys. This is just so that I can do the update. Okay, and you just want to put these wires in such a way to where they're not going to touch each other, which is fine. Get the ground. Okay, and then let's just get our data right here. That's it. That's all I need to do. Okay, so now you wouldn't want to go crazy with this thing. Just kind of set it nicely aside. Bring your radio, fold down this flap, and plug this in just like that. Okay, and make sure that none of the wires are touching. All right, that's the most important piece. Don't let any of the wires touch. Go ahead and turn on the radio. Okay. All right, now what I want to do now is I'm going to get to my firmware folder by holding the menu button down, press page, go to firmware, go to FrSky RX firmware. There's our folder we created, XM Plus. And now what we want to do is we want to go to the first one. We're not going to 2.10 or 2.12. We're going to go to the first one right here. Okay. Hold on, gotta let my dog in. One time, come on. Wanna go inside? Come here. Come here. Take your little baby. Sorry guys, but my little Yorkie was getting hot out there. Okay, so we're back. So like I said, we're gonna go and we're going to select one of the ones that where we could put the RSSI. Now you could see these LBT ones, that's for the EU. So I'm not really gonna worry about putting the RSSI on here, but if we want to, sure we can. So let's just go ahead and do a, we'll just do it on a channel 16 right here. So I'm gonna click that. And it's going to ask me, I'm going to flash the S port, the internal, the external. I'm going to flash the S port. So hold that. And it's now going to go, and you're going to see, if you could see, and I don't know, I'm going to try to do this without allowing the wires to touch, the light on the bottom. Do you see those lights blinking? All right, that means that the thing is being updated. Or it's being downgraded, but it's still considered an update. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. We start putting some of these tools away. And we're going to see very quickly now, we're going to test it, and we're going to see if this works. We still have to downgrade our radio, and we're going to do that next. And I'm going to show you how to do that real quickly. Perfect. All right, here we go. Okay, now that we're done, let's go ahead. It says flash is successful. We're going to hit OK. Exit, exit, exit. All right, now I'm going to unplug this cable, and I'm going to start the update here. So I'm going to hold the menu button down. Press page, go to firmware, go to the TX firmware, because that's the XJT module. I'm going to go to the XJT firmware, and I'm going to take it to the same version. All right? I'll click that, and I'm going to go to the non-EU version. And I'm going to flash the internal module. Let that run, and while that's going, it will be time to, I can use this time to desolder. Here. There's one. There's two. And there's three. Now I'm going to go ahead and resolder it. There we go. Back to the quad. in the same order. So we got ground right here. Got our 5 volt. And then we got our S bus right here. Okay. Okay. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the VTX, put it back on there, and get that bolted back down. And then get the other one bolted back down so that we can consider most of this finished. Keep my finger right there and just try to finger tighten it just a little bit. Okay. And let me show you. So what we're going to do next is, where is it? Right here. Tighten that just enough. There we go. Tighten this one just enough as well, just so that it passes that nylon on the self-locking, right? Just like that. Okay, so now our VTX is back on, and the only thing I'm gonna have to do at the end is just make sure to put the VTX power back, which obviously I disconnected so that it wouldn't interfere with our feed. All right, so now if you look at our radio, it says the flash was successful. I'm going to click exit, 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 okay? Now here's the big test. I'm going to take the quad, plug it in. Let me see, let me get this lined up properly. There we go. And I'm going to hold the bind button down very quickly. Where's my little pin here? Hold the bind button right here while I turn it on. Oh, hold on, my cable came out. 1 second. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna hold the bind button. There, turn it on. Okay, we have 2 solid lights there. So now what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if you can see those lights. I'll try to move this to where maybe you could see them. So we have 2 solid lights, right, let me see, here. Okay, yeah, and it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna stay, but there's 2 solid lights. What we're gonna be doing is hoping that they start blinking soon. So we're gonna go to our menu here. Press page, make sure that we have XJT D16, and we are going, is that model 4? Let me make sure, it is model 4. Okay, and so we are going to click bind, and hopefully what we will see is this wire start blinking. And we're going to go to telemetry 16 on. Okay, and there we go. We have our red light blinking, so we are back to pre 2.1 firmware. So now I can go ahead and hit exit, exit, exit. I could turn off my drone. Okay, wait for it to power off. I can turn it back on. Okay. And if I move it, there we go. You see how we have a green light? We are now bound and ready to go. And it's going to go red and green only because there's a glitch in this, because if the radio is too close, it just keeps losing signal. Ironically, it's just weird how that works. But it is good to go. So now if we want to test that and see, I'm going to go ahead and plug in our USB right here. Okay, and I'll open Betaflight. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
What you doing, Mama? Is it getting any better in there?
Slowly. Slowly.
All right, so we've had a day. Let me tell you, it has just been a day. Let me go ahead and get ready to show you the computer screen. All right, so hang tight 1 second. Because I'm on this slow computer, I'm not seeing, I don't get much of anything here. So let's just wait. I've clicked on Betaflight like 20 seconds ago. I'm so upset. And here it goes. I may just have to go bite the bullet. You know, I've got a million computers here because I used to own a computer store for 17 years, and so I always purchase. But this one I did not plan on, so I'm having to grab the nearest thing I had. All right, so let's wait. Here comes Betaflight. I mean, God, It's just like molasses here. Wait for the COM port to load up. That's going to take another year. Very disappointing indeed. Okay. There it is. I'm going to click connect. It's so bad. It's so bad. And now we're connecting. All right, let's just go to receiver now. Now again, it takes a year because of this computer sucking so bad. I apologize, you guys. You know me better than to think that I would really be okay with it. And look at that. We've got everything going. And you can have auxiliary 12. This is your RSSI. So you can actually activate that so the RSSI will be picked up. Okay, and to do that, you would just basically come over here and you would select RSSI on channel 12, click save, and I believe that will give you, oh, I thought it would, but I'll just go to the CLI real quick. It's easier if I do it that way. I know how to do it that way. I somehow, for some reason, every time I try to do it the other way, I think I always forget to offset it by 2, but we'll just see, or by 4, I mean. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say set RSSI. Oh, that's not what I want. And then hit enter, and it's got it on channel 16, which is correct. So let's see. I think that actually is correct. So let me just disconnect here real quick. And there we go. See how our RSSI is, whoops, you can't see that. Hold on. Let me just, see that right there? Right there on the right-hand side. You see this? There's your RSSI. Okay. And then you can adjust it to where it's 100%. I mean, it needs to be calibrated, but still, at least you know you've got it now. So let me go ahead and put my ugly mug back up there. There we go. And this is done, guys. Everything looks good here, so I'm happy. I'm going to close this up, put the power wire back on for the VTX, and this RMA is finished. All right, guys, so that pretty much does it for this one. Sorry, I will get this computer taken care of. I'm so sorry it's so slow. It does delay the videos by quite a bit, and I will work to get that done before the weekend hits, okay? Other than that, guys, God bless. Be safe most of all. Have a great day. Go spend time with your family, and make the most of it. You never know how much time you have left, so go have some fun. You can always fly later, guys. And if you have any questions, you can always go to our Facebook page, go to our groups page right there. It's below. And then as well, you can always, please, always subscribe to our channel and let others know about us. It's the best way, word of mouth, okay? All right, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.